Basher! Let's see what's on the bench. So many people have been watching me on my channel build heavy-duty construction equipment and they think I have lost my bashing roots. Well, my friends, I will tell you that is not the case, and my Superman ramp is alive and well, waiting for its next victim. And this time, it's going to be the ARRMA KRATON, the EXB, the Extreme Bash version. This is a full option roller. You're going to look at everything inside this box as I unbox it here today and do a build up for you. I think this is going to be 100% worth your time. And in fact, if you're a basher right now, don't let me down. Smash that like button right now because I brought this in for you guys to have a look at. Look on the back. This is what everybody has been talking about. All of the upgrades you have been wanting, everything you've been talking about, plus a little bit more. Look at this, aluminum rear shock towers. I'm loving how that goes. It's going to be extra strong now, straight out of the box. Extreme bash proof. I'm going to be the judge of that, thank you very much. Look at this, the front bumper. I wonder how flexible this is going to be. Do I expect this to be invincible? Yes. Am I being unrealistic? Maybe. I've always smashed and bashed my greatest trucks out on that Superman ramp. Look at this, the matte and gloss effect body. I have not opened this box. I've been waiting for you guys. I know everyone's been wanting me to do a basher build, and I think it's about time. It's been super rainy during the month of July for me, and although I'd love to be outside on the rocks or on the trail or whatever, it just can't be that way. It's just too wet. So it is the season for building for me right now. Look at this, etched to perfection. Can you believe that? I can hardly wait to see it. I just want to make sure to go over this in detail so you guys can be tongue wagging with me because this is some extreme shit right here. Wow, heavy duty front and rear arms with the aluminum strengthening caps. Very smart. Forget, let's just get in the box. I want to see what's in there. I'm loving how aggressive it looks already. Yes, my friends, it is a giant extreme basher. In fact, my dad actually has my original KRATON, and it is still to this day one of his favorite machines he has. Ba-ba-ba-ba! Yeah, baby. Now when I come out to see you, Dad, I'll make sure to bring the new basher. Look at this little beauty, black. I'm loving the look of that already. Come on, you guys got to get out of the, come on, get out of the tripod. There's no point in you being in there. Whoo-wee! That is fire. Wow. I thought it looked good on the box. Dude, that feels nice and sturdy, but look at how much flexibility it has. I'm not saying anything, I'm just admiring. Insane. Copperhead. Wow. Feels like great ridges. I'm wondering, it still feels kind of soft. I wonder if it's going to expand out. That was one of the things I noticed about my KRATON. And you always want to remember, like I said, it was raining for me right now. If you ever do go outside, you want to make sure to cover up those breather holes, because if you get any extra water inside, you know, when they're starting to spin super fast on a 4S or like a 6S LIPO battery, they can just start to inflate. But I wonder about these ones. I love these rims. Those look so nice. All the way around to the back. Let's have a look at that shock tower. Just like the image. The Extreme Bash. Wow. It is so nice to have a new basher in here. 2020 deserved a new basher. And you know what? Here it is, 6S power. Let's have a look on, before I look under your hood, sweetheart, I want to have a look at the bottom chassis. I love how smooth it is, just because it's a roller. Look at that. Oh my God. I almost don't even want to put this in the dirt. I don't want to run this. Look at that. If you can read this, just send it. I just want to hang this on the wall. That's it. Okay guys, thanks a lot for joining me today in the unboxing. That's all I'm going to do. I'm never getting it dirty. I'm not even going to take the lid off. See you in the next RC. Nah, I'm just friggin' with you. You know I'm not going to do that to you. I went crazy on the Horizon site, looking at everything. I'll leave a link to the information and stuff. Look at this in the video description box down below. You know, first thing, look at this. What the heck? They already reinforced it? What is going on? I was going to say I'm going to go in with my Gorilla Tape as always, and I still probably will. But look at this. Don't just bash, blast. They have reinforcement tape on the inside of the body. I have never seen that before, except for when I do it with some sort of tape afterwards. I'm still going to do it. Yes, it will add weight to it, but the body overall, you know, it's not like it's going to be super thick. It doesn't feel super thick, and with my kind of weather out here, I know that cold and hot, and we get all seasons all year round. So I'll add some tape to that to solidify it, but look at that. Oh my God, guys. In person, wow. Wow, look at that chassis brace. Wow. Wow, here's the motor mount. Okay, so drinking game, obviously. Every time I say, wow, you got to take a shot or whatever you got nearby. Kids, pop, obviously. Oh, wow. Jeez, that is badass. Okay. That's one of the things I love about Bashers, guys. You just want to see how that suspension is, right? And I know there's nothing in it right now, and it totally matters when there's weight in it, but watch the suspension. Down, slap, back up to medium. If it's a roller, you must be wondering what the heck I'm going to be putting into it. And since I was on the Horizon site anyway, I just went all in and got the Horizon stuff because it was easier and cheaper on shipping for me. Here is one of the high torque surface servos, the SPEKTRUM S6250. Now that's pretty good because it can run at 8.4 volts. You can see here 382 ounce per inch of torque and plenty enough speed. Metal gears, I like that. You know, good to go. And then of course, the powerhouse. 1/8 scale, look at this, on and off-road brushless 2050 kV motor and ESC combo. Have a look on the back here. It's going to tell us about the BEC. Look at here. Here's the continuous current is 150 amps. Peak current 950. A sensorless, brushless motor, which means not really meant for going slow or else it'll kind of cog on you, but still can go fairly slow on a roll. And 1/8 scale can take up to a 6S LIPO. The BEC is pretty standard, and it's not like we really need a big BEC on this anyway because we're not using tons of servos. So battery connector, I'm loving it. Ready to rock and roll. Let's open this up and have a look on the inside. This is the first time I've ever used the SPEKTRUM Smart technology, and I wanted to kind of get in on what people were talking about, maybe learn how to unbox something with one hand while I'm filming. Jeez, like, what, have I never done this before? What I meant to say was I cut this so I could get it ready to go, and just continued to have some problems with it, but it was more for a comedy effect. Ta-da-da-da-da-da. Someone's like, why aren't you using a tripod? And the answer is because I'm hot. That looks awesome. That looks mean. Beautiful. This is the smart technology for the smart batteries. And this is going to be for 2, of course. So if you're doing a 6S LIPO, you can do 2 3Ss. Or if you want to jump one, you could just use 1 battery then, if you just want to use the 1. And then the motor. Very hard to do one-handed. You know, my whole show is just full of innuendo. I think the hobby is just innuendo filled. Look at this. Larger than a shotgun shell, the same length though. Nope, this is a 2 3/4 inch, 12 gauge, and you can see there is a sizable difference. I love how aggressive this looks and how they've worked in the Spektrum logo on the side. What an iconic logo. It's been around for such a long time. So here are the brushless connectors for the motor. Everything's already pre-done for you. Look at the caps on their capacitors. Yeah, pretty much plug and play, it looks like. It just dawned on me that some of you might be looking at this and you might be new to the hobby and you don't know what a roller really means. A roller is just more of a chassis. You can see, even though this is a very beefed up chassis, but there's no electronics in it, and literally you can roll it. Normally when you have a motor in there with a pinion on board, everything's kind of connected, you can roll it, but it's not as free as this is, right? Everything would be hooked up and have electronics. A lot of those are called ready to run. So if you see RTR on the box, you'll know it's a ready to run. This is a full option, which means fully upgraded roller that has every upgrade they could think of to put on here first. So hopefully that helps clear that up. On this side, you can see here, ba-boo, here is a aluminum servo upgrade. This is going to eliminate any twist in that servo area. You also might be wondering, why would they have this top bar across the top? You might even hate the look of it. I actually think it's very shocking and it stands out well, but this is to keep your Kraton from actually kind of turning into a banana. When it jumps way too high and comes down and hits hard, a lot of that force and all that force and energy sometimes will want to bend that whole chassis, and so that's what they're trying to avoid there. Plus they're also bracing it here against the bottom with the aluminum instead of plastic, which gives it a lot more rigidity as well. Now, how is it going to transfer throughout the whole thing? We've always said over the years, the more aluminum, the more damage you're going to get, because plastic normally bends and bounces back, but aluminum tends to bend and never bounce back, right? It just kind of stays in the bent position. But if it's strategically designed, and it says they've done a lot of design work on this vehicle, it should be able to put up with quite a few different bashes and hopefully come away fairly unscathed. So we'll see. Okay, first thing I gotta do, loosen off this screw and this screw. Just going to use the Allen key that came right in the kit. I'll just slide that piece right out, making sure I'm watching the direction, but you can see here there is only really one way it can go in. If you take a look at the end of the motor, you'll see a whole bunch of holes on there, but there are 4 that are dedicated to mounting screws. So I'm going to line them up with the piece that I just showed you I removed, like so. I'm going to find the corresponding holes that I want to make sure that the wires are sticking out the way I'd like, accessible. If you are new to the hobby, you'll notice that the motor shaft has a flat side to it. That is the side where the grub screw for your pinion is going to be going against. If you look closely here, that is the grub screw in behind. Now it does come with thread lock on it, but note how far I had to push the pinion in on this motor shaft. That's no big deal, it's just accommodating. That motor shaft is accommodating for other vehicles as well. But what I've done is I've pre-lined it up to make sure that everything fit. And you'll see here it just slides right into place like that. Now, I like to have a nice little bit of a gap in there. I usually put a piece of paper, full scap. It's just an old trick that we've been doing for years in the hobby, just to make sure you've got not too tight of a mesh, but just enough like that. So you got just a bit of a gap. Then tighten it up. Now take note how I lined everything up. Again, new people might not notice how they're lining it up, but make sure that your wires are easily accessible, right? You want to have to be able to get at those with your electronic speed control, which really is the brain, where the motor is the heart, right? And so these, like this particular ESC, has 2 screw holes on either side. They are built in right here on the ARRMA, which is awesome, basically ready to drop in. Before I drop that in, I'm going to drop in the servo right here. Just have to undo the plate here.
There's 4 screws, and then I can just drop it straight in. Actually, let me remove this red plate. I think that would make it easier to go over this particular servo. Alright, there it is, nice and installed, snug as a bug in a rug, as my mom used to say. Check this out. So now you would think that you'd be over here going, oh, I'm just going to just install the steering horn right away. No, you don't do that. You got to make sure that that servo is centered. Now, you either already have a servo centering side unit that you've used, or you can wait to plug it into the receiver. Now, the receiver I'm going to use today is going to be for my DX5. This is going to be something that's very straightforward. It's a 3-channel receiver. I've got my throttle, my steering, and an auxiliary port. I don't really need an auxiliary port on this one, but if I want to plug in lights or whatever else I wanted, that has the availability. So this is a nice small receiver. The receiver box is on this side, so I'm just going to place this here for now, because we all know it's going to go there, and I'm going to get this installed by just removing these 2 screws to begin with. And then just dropping the ESC right into place and then cinching up those 2 screws again. Notice the direction of my wires, right? Because I want to make sure to keep the shortest possible distance to my motor. And then, of course, these can reach over to the battery when they are ready to go. I just almost caught my mistake right there, or I did catch my mistake, almost missed it, I should say. Before I cinch that down, notice on the bottom, yes, it's got this neat little sticker on there, but I know from experience when machines like this hit the ground with force and slap, 2 screws is not going to be enough. So instead, Spektrum actually already provides you on the inside, check this out, ba-boom, with a giant real 3M double-sided piece of stickiness, so it doesn't force that slap and all that force to knock this free. So make sure to install the 3M on the bottom before you actually cinch it down with those screws. Very important. Well, it's kind of self-explanatory, color to color. And then if you see down here, right here, there's a little clip for each one of those wires. Now I've just flipped the car the other way just so I can go ahead and remove the top panel for the receiver box. And just get that out of the way. So here, we're going to see where we can route it. So right here, if you notice, and new folks may miss these things, they're easy to miss. There we go. Get it in focus there. Come on. This is where your wires are going to go into the box right there. So it's pretty much splash resistant. Ah, look at this. There's a nice seal around the lid. Very good. So here we go. Since I know that this is already bound to my radio, I went ahead and installed the throttle and the steering. You can see that auxiliary and the battery port are open. You can plug lights into the battery port if you want as well, so you do have that ability if you want to put lights into your vehicle as well. And really the only thing to do now is to turn it on, but I want to make sure to either A, remove the tires, or B, elevate the truck just in case there's any kind of issue. We don't want to have something on 6S running away. Well, maybe you guys want it, but I don't. Enter in the smart batteries. I'm trying to catch up to date on all this technology, this smart stuff, to figure out what makes an ESC so smart, what makes the batteries so smart. Like, they're just batteries, right? Nope. Things are getting much more complicated in the world, and thankfully you no longer have to have a ton of sensors all over for telemetry when you have the proper radio, the receiver. Some of the older receivers are supported still, but this will tell you a whole bunch of stuff, and that's why I want to set this up to show you. So here we go. These 2 batteries are going to go in stacked. You'll be like, how are you going to stack that? It looks impossible. Now you see 2. There are 2 smart 3-cell LiPo batteries. So I was cinching up these batteries. Don't they look so pretty and secure now? They're not going anywhere. But then I noticed on the strap earlier, what was this? And this is actually built right onto the Velcro strap. This is a wire holder for your bottom battery. Genius. My DX5 Rugged has not seen very much use yet, but I was going to hold this on for a little while till like unveil it, but might as well do it now. I love the Rugged because it has all this rubber on the side. How many times have I dropped it? Right? How many times have I dropped my radio and had to worry about it? Now I've got some rubber on the edge that just won't crack it open like they used to. Look at that. I love the tire on the side. And I know Jason Hoy might be watching right now from Hoy Fab Crawlers. Look how far your idea for the all thumbs has finally come, brother. I knew it. You knew it. We all knew we were going to see one-handed driving because you need your other hand to hold some beer. No, the camera. Okay, my radio is on, my vehicle is elevated. Gonna plug in one side of the battery. Gonna plug in the other side of the battery. Pop, pop. And on. Doo, 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 doo. All 6 ready to rock. 6 cells of LiPo. Oh, look at this on the top of my radio. Right there, smart just appeared. It activated. SPEKTRUM did a really great video on their smart stuff. I'm going to leave a link to it just because it's going to be a heck of a lot easier than me explaining in detail what it is. They did a great video. There's a link in the video description box down below, of course, as always, with other links to help you get along on your RC adventure. Notice and remember that I did not hook up the steering servo, right? Because I wanted to make sure it is centered. I'm making sure that everything is centered here on my new model. Everything looks fine, so I feel like I can go ahead and now cinch up my steering once it is centered where I like it. No, right at the end. Isn't this the hobby for you? Look at this. This is the aluminum steering servo that it comes with. Awesome, 25 tooth. The servo I have, not 25 tooth. I overlooked something, so that's no good. So I'll have to swap out the servo, but I've got just the servo in mind. Let's see here, Mr. Reef's RC servo, which one? I'm going to go with the 444. It is waterproof and super strong. It's got 422 ounces at 6 volts. That's what this kind of truck should have. Look at that, 444 at 7.4 volts. It is a 25 tooth spline, which means the stock aluminum servo horn will work. Hopefully I can get this one to fit in because the one that's in there is fairly low profile, but they do give you these side spacers as well, which I'll put underneath the servo, which will give me a little bit more room. Reef's RC servo. Look at how pretty it is. Titanium gears, heavy duty. For an extreme basher, you're going to want an extreme setup. I don't even know why I would go with the servo like I did with SPEKTRUM, but I was thinking it was one of those late night things, you know, where you're just clicking away on the website and you're like, oh, I want to try that out. I should have just used my Reef's RC to begin with, but that's okay. Let's see here. Let's test it out. Yeah. All 6 cells of power. Oh, look how fast that is. Too fast, unless you're racing maybe. I'll probably turn the steering servo speed down. But look at that, my friends. Da-da-da-da. Shall we give it its first little wheel test here? Should I wheelie do it? Yeah, I'm a dad. Oh, she wants to rip right away. Oh, mama. Come on over here, darling. Listen, I'm just pulling it slowly so you can hear the resistance in that motor. Those magnets are huge in there. Holy cow. This looks incredible. Okay, definitely got to decal it with the Smart. Definitely got to decal it with the Reefs. Oh yeah. Earned for one of the best. So nice. Tell me guys, what is the favorite color that you have for your Basher trucks? Mine has always been black.
You know I wasn't gonna let this out of the studio without an RC Sparks decal right on the front. Check it out. There it is, my friends. This is the EXB, the extreme bashing version of the KRATON or KRATON or wherever you are in the world, however you pronounce. Let's just call this one badass truck, right? I always want to know, have you made it this far in the video? Please comment down below. Let me know if you watched the whole thing. If you only watch part of it, if you skip to the end, it does help me make better videos for you in the future. Lets me know what you enjoy. Also, let me ask you guys, does this, could you improve this vehicle at all? If there was any improvements you'd make, what would it be? I'm always reading the comments, guys. I can't respond to all of them, but I love to read what the community has to say about the videos, what you guys think about this insane truck. You know that I've got bashing coming up, and this means the Superman ramp. We'll see you in the next episode, guys, of RC Adventures. Now go outside and have fun with RC, or if you're like me and it's raining outside, stay inside and build one.